That's one of the few times where you can kind of look at your guys and celebrate with them, knowing that, okay, I don't have to go to practice the next day to continue working, because every team, every program has their own rules. A lot of schools side on somewhere in the neighborhood of 24-hour rule. Hey, enjoy it, party, have a good time, whatever. 24 hours, then it's back to work. But this is one time where you can let it live for a little while. Talk about that.
Yeah, I guess me personally, I can let it live for a little bit. But, the next day I was in there doing laundry, cleaning out the locker room, and I was very happy to see, most all of our players moving on to play some kind of a sport in the winter, whether it's wrestling or basketball. And I always try to preach to my kids that the football players, that being an athlete, being a football player, it's always a good idea to be well-rounded and get into your other sports and go show those teams and those other players and coaches how you know how to compete.
And I know Coach Lezotte's got to be looking forward to getting a lot of folks, a lot of young guys off that team. I mean, heck, winning 3 middle school region championships in a row. I know that the region at the middle school level is a little bit different than at the high school level. The high school region includes Brunswick, Glenn, and at the middle school, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the 3 Statesboro middle schools, us, the 2 Effingham middle schools, and it's 3 Effingham middle schools, and is that it?
And Burke County.
Okay, in Burke County. So 8 teams there. So the layout of the conference is a little bit different, but still, you got to feel good about the high school program getting a squad of kids that have churned out 3 titles in a row.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something Coach Lezotte would have to talk about, but I know he's been very pleased with the last couple of years' class, and this class, every class has their own special thing that they can bring to a program, and this group's going to have some special traits that they have that other groups don't possess, and all of that leads to a very well-rounded program, and I think they're going to get another group of kids that can help round that program out and keep building towards the future.
I had a special guest on with color analyst. It was Randall Boone, longtime middle school coach here. Coached a lot of those, has taught a lot of those guys, and coached the team for almost 20 years or a little more. The middle school team, and then because Brock is our high school guy, and he wasn't able to make that event on last Wednesday nights. But Randall and I had a great time, and we got the party started pretty early here. The very first possession. There's a give left side. There's Miller inside the 5. And for the first time tonight, get your paint cans ready. Color me 6. The pitch and the score. And honestly, it was like that a lot. Now, I just heard the play, but who was that scored that first touchdown?
Well, we call him Amir Miller. You've been referring to him as Amari Miller for the entire season.
He's sitting right over there.
Miller for the first touchdown.
Hey, Amir. How's it going, Amir? He's just got his dimples, a big old smile, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. I might have to slap you around a little bit, but anyway, that was a big time run off that left side, and your offensive line. I mean, they were just, as we like to say, recreating that line of scrimmage. It seemed like all night long. Yeah, and that's everyone works hard at practice, but I'd have to say they're probably the hardest working bunch there at practice. They're the drills the skill guys get to actually throw a football around and do football things at practice, and, it's a little bit more fun. The offensive line, they just go down there and they're blocking on dummies. They're blocking on each other. They're running through what seem to be very boring drills. But offensive linemen are special kind of people, and that mentality that you're going to work your tail off just so others can succeed is what makes them special, and they were able to do that all year. I should have the roster right in front of me, but some of the couple of names along that offensive line, Connor Peltier, Tyler Cascaden, tight end, which he's only 6 feet tall. That's how he answered the question. He was at halftime of the Glenn Academy game. I said, "How tall are you, Tyler?" 6 feet, just like that, as could be. A couple other names that popped out to me. He's been on actually with us a couple times. Khalil Scott, his brother Kirk's on the varsity squad. So good on both sides of that line of scrimmage. Yeah, like I said, that group of kids, everyone's working hard at practice. They seem to be putting in just a little bit of extra effort, and to get no glory too is, they don't get to score the touchdowns, and their names don't usually appear in the paper, but they sure enough show up to practice and go to work every day anyway. So let's talk about the off season really quick. And not that, like I said earlier, you get to live in that moment for a while at the end of a season. You win a title, and you talk about some of your kids going on and playing other sports. But talk about, are there any differences, or what kind of differences are there at the middle school level versus the high school in the off season?
Well, just like the high school, we get going, shortly after the season ends. I'm sure they start a little sooner than us. We start in January. We're more 2 days a week in the off season. They're more, 4 to 5 days a week in the off season. But one big thing that has helped us out in the off season is all of our coaches have been tasked with going out and sort of reaching out to other athletes we see in the school and seeing if we can get them, talk them into to playing football. And then our other football players that do play with those kids, we try to tell them, see if you can convince this other kid to come out and play. And that's helped us tremendously in the last couple of years. And hopefully Coach Lezotte's going to see some of those multi-sport athletes, not just football players, but we've been able to get basketball, wrestling, baseball, lacrosse, track guys. We're trying to get them all to come out and play football and hopefully play and succeed with us, and then move on to the high school level, succeed there.
How much do y'all, varsity-wise, do you have your own wrinkle, or do you pretty much stick with what Coach Lezotte tells you to stick with? Because y'all are the feeder program. You want to run the same offense, same defense, use the same terminology. So when they get to varsity, they already ready. But do you put your own wrinkle into it, or is it pretty much what the varsity's doing?
I would say the biggest difference we have is that we'll stay under center. Some of the time in the last couple of years, we've been pulling more and more out of that. And, at one point this year, I turned and looked at our coaches. We're now a shotgun team. And, if you're at the championship game, you might think, well, they were under center the whole time. That was just a situation where it was working and they weren't stopping it, and we want to try to run clock at this moment. So, we start running clock. But we have some things that we do that doesn't translate as well to the varsity level, and but we're always working to try to vertically align that stuff as best we can.
All right, I'm gonna give you the floor, Coach. Kind of wrap things up with you. I know we're gonna talk to a few of your players later on in the show, but your just overall thoughts of the season, message you want to give. Of course, we're on Facebook Live right now, and the video will be Alex said, "Whoa, is that what that camera's doing right there?" And that the video from Facebook will be uploaded, not tonight. Shoptown, go Braves, but at some point tomorrow, the audio recording as well. So a lot of folks will, if they're not able to tune, if they're not listening right now, they'll be able to tune in and listen, anytime after, tomorrow. But, words for those folks watching and listening, Wildcat Nation, just in general, your thoughts of the season and your message to them.
Yeah, so the kind of the last thing I left our team with that the coaching staff was very proud of, which was just how much improved this team was throughout the year. Of course, we had that loss early on to Effingham, 8-0, getting shut out. That's never a good feeling, but to come back and respond and get better and better every week, and to prove, there at the end of the year that we were the best team in the region, there really was no doubt about it. And, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's none of the coaches go out there and run the sprints or go through tackling drills or anything like that. That's the kids that choose to show up and do those things, and not just show up and go through the motions, but they're there with a great attitude, their best work ethic, and staying coachable through the whole year. So I know the whole staff, and me especially, very proud of what these kids were able to accomplish this year.
And again, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on another title. Again, we'll talk to your players a little later. Thank you so much, Coach Bennett. We got to teach the outdoor studio audience how to kind of run.
They kind of dead tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah, we Richmond Hill Middle School cheerleaders. They were at some other event tonight in the high school varsity. I think we do have a few of them over here. Don't worry, I'm not gonna get you on camera. I'm just gonna say, hey, do what? I know, that's what I'm saying. I got you. And Anna, we've got some of the high school varsity cheerleaders with us as well. They're here just hanging out, eating some pizza at Papa's Pizza to Go. Coach Hutch texted me last night and said we may or may not be there. We had to rearrange our practice schedule a little bit because of some things, or weather or something yesterday after school. But nevertheless, they had a late practice today, and the number one thing for them is competition and representing the Hill out there, doing everything with that. Keep running those scores high. But we may or may not have one or two of them on a little later. Thanks to them for coming. But right now, we're going to take a commercial break, and we come back. We'll get things going with head coach Matt Lezotte. You're listening to Wildcat Nation and the Matt Lezotte Show, sponsored by Papa's Pizza and Exclusive Engravings. We'll be right back. So let's go Wildcats. Yeah, we're still in the air because I'm trying to find a commercial. Oh, there we go.
The Cats win big, and so should you. For 13 years at Exclusive Engravings on Ford Avenue, Chris and LaShonda Hartley have a wide range of gifts, trophies, executive awards, home accessories, custom apparel, and more. A veteran-owned business, Chris and LaShonda have served our country, and now they're ready to serve you. Trust local, shop local. Stop by to see Chris and LaShonda today. And oh yeah, Chris is a proud Batesburg-Leesville High School grad in South Carolina, just like Charlie Moon and longtime Richmond Hill teacher Sarah Goldrick.
Low Country Radio. We're your number one internet radio station.
Low Country Radio is proud to be bringing you Richmond Hill Wildcats football. Thanks to our sponsors, Palmer Chiropractic, Magnolia Coastal Properties, Richmond Hill Pharmacy, McDonald's, OC Welch Ford, Love Seafood and Steaks, Bodeford Realty, Smokin' Pig, A+ Quality Contracting, Papa's Pizza to Go, Low Country Pawn, Coastal Hydration Therapy, Pro Lift Garage Doors, Meredith Gibson Realty, MITR Surveying, and the Richmond Hill Bryan County Chamber of Commerce. We encourage you to visit our sponsors and please eat, shop, and buy local. Be safe and go Wildcats.
We've got your...
What's going on, Wildcat Nation? Again, I'm Charlie Moon here alongside with my bald brother from another, Brock Vaigneur, and head coach Matt Lezotte with us. Coach Lezotte is jotting down our Low Country Radio Players of the Week for special team, offense, defense, lineman. And I was going to look at my text earlier because we were texting back and forth because I usually leave special teamer and lineman up to the coaching staff. Brock and I pick offense, defense overall, but I leave linemen and special teamers up to Coach Lezotte and the rest of the staff because it's kind of, a lot of times it's just hard to tell who grades out at what goes on special teams. Other than the fact that Gilbert Brown can always be counted for the booth. But I was going to check my text earlier and I realized my phone is right there. So that's not going to work. How's it going, Coach Lezotte?
It's good. We're just in waiting mode right now. We had a big practice today. Just waiting for the outcome of Friday to see really where we're going to fall as far as the playoffs are concerned.
And let's go ahead and dig right into it. Right now in conference play. Brunswick is, in all honesty, is now we say nobody's ever going to take a win for granted. Brunswick hosts Effingham this week. No, they don't host Effingham. That game is at Effingham. And if Brunswick wins that game, and for all intents and purposes, prognostication skills, I would say that's probably going to happen. But nevertheless, Brunswick plays at Effingham County. They come in this week 5-0. Effingham County at 4-1 and 2 seed. Richmond Hill right now on paper 3 seed and 4-2 in conference play. And Statesboro 3-2, that 4 seed. Sitting on the outside right now looking in is Glen Academy at 2-3 in that 5 spot. So it's kind of a log jam between 2 and 5. I mean, really honestly, at this point, mathematically, it's a log jam between 1 and 5 because if Effingham pulls off the big time upset at home against Brunswick, then we got a whole heap of mess that's going to happen. But let's just break it down right now, really simply for the fans watching and listening right now live, and then we'll hear this over the next couple of days. Let's just say just for the sake of making things simple, Brunswick goes ahead and takes care of business and beats Effingham County. Then the bottom line is we are the 2 seed no matter what happens because we're off. This is the last week of the regular season, so that'll be the first thing. Yeah. Brunswick wins, we'll be the 2 seed, period, point blank. No matter what you see anywhere else. I've seen several media outlets with different caveats in there that I kind of thought was incorrect, but I kind of had to verify it. But nevertheless, let's just say for all intents purposes that throw in the monkey wrench here. If Effingham County pulls off the upset, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Lezotte, then it comes down to the Statesboro and Glen game. Statesboro needs to lose at Glen, and then we will be the 2 seed, correct?
No.
That's why I said. Go ahead, explain it to us.
Very simple. They're 3 games, big games. The region championship is being played between Effingham and Brunswick. playing for a region win is going to be Bradwell and South Effingham. And then playing for a playoff spot is going to be Glen Academy and Statesboro. And so if Glen Academy wins, they'll be in as a 4 seed. So it gets tricky if there are a lot of things in the scenario. So it's always head to head is the tiebreaker. When it gets down further, we're a little bit different than the state as far as the state has in the white book is point differential. We're points allowed between tied teams if 2 or more teams or 3 or more teams are tied. And so if we were all in a tie with 2 losses between us, Effingham, and Statesboro, we would win that tiebreaker, which would put us as the 2 seed, and then it would go head to head at that point between Effingham and Statesboro. So, there's a lot at stake. Everybody's playing for something Friday night except us. So the pressure's on them. Can Brunswick handle being at the top, playing for a region championship? Can Effingham handle being the underdog going in against a very talented Brunswick team that's got the best players in our region? And can Glen Academy and Statesboro, they're going to have to duke it out. They're a good matchup for both teams. I mean, we've seen them both. They play really tough. They're both tough on defense, and it's going to be a heck of a game. And so there are no gimmies on Friday night, and then Bradwell and South Effingham duking it out to try to finish the season with a region win and enter the off season with on a high note. So
yeah.
We'll see how it shakes out.
I can't lie. In that fourth quarter, about halfway through the fourth quarter, once we finally kind of sealed the game, and we'll hear a couple cuts in just a minute, but once we finally kind of sealed that game, I can't lie. In one ear, I had 94.9 The Eagle. That's the Statesboro Georgia Southern radio affiliate network, but they also broadcast Statesboro Sports. And I had them in my left ear, and I was calling the last half of the fourth quarter, and then I listened to it after the game in a post wrap-up because it lasted for another about 30, 45 minutes after the game ended. And I don't know, there's some folks that know how that game ended, but it was nuts. Long story short, 31-21. Effingham goes on a long touchdown drive, scores with 3 minutes left. Then they kick off, stop Statesboro 3 and out, drive down inside the 15-yard line, kick a field goal to tie it with about 25, 30 seconds left, 31-31. Then they kick off to Statesboro, and here comes the fumble off the kickoff. It rolls inside the 20-yard line. Effingham County recovers it. And then they end up kicking a field goal with 2 seconds left to go in the game to win it, 34-31. So you never know what's going to happen this Friday, but kind of like you, Brunswick, for all intents and purposes, Brunswick, go ahead and take care of business. We'll be the 2 seed. Let everything else play itself out. I'll definitely be happy with that. And if we are the 2 seed, we are matched up with a Region 4. That's out of the Atlanta area. You got Tucker, Lovejoy, Westlake, Hughes, and a few other teams in that conference. But right now in that conference, Westlake and Hughes is probably going to end up with the 1 seed out of that conference. Yeah. Is that Matt? That's done?
Yeah, they're not going to lose.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who they playing this
Westlake
week?
ain't going to lose again either. So they're going to be 1-2, and then figuring out the 3 and 4. Looks like Lovejoy is going to be the 3, and then North Atlanta and Tucker figuring out who the 4 seed is going to be. So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, but so that would guarantee it. If we end up with a 2 seed, we'll guarantee a home playoff game that would be played on Saturday, November 13th.
Yep.
We've been doing that in GHSA football for the last few years because of a shortage of quality referees. So they've kind of really had coin flip to see which classifications would play at home in first round on Saturday. Let's touch on last week just a few moments. Hey, that first quarter was pretty interesting. Even you probably say, hey, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was going on that first quarter, but give South Effingham some credit. We said going in that ball game, they're 1-7, but they got a few guys at the skill spots, and they play their ever living rear ends off, and they did that night. Ended their first drive, ended like this.
Charlie, I want to say something about that last drive right quick from South Effingham. I really think that was a win for Richmond Hill. Don't give up 3 points. They're weathering the storm right now. Oh, yeah. They're going to get it going. That was a win.
Third down, now to 4. There's a pitch. That's actually a direct snap right to Mr. Edwards, and they try to play that numbers game with an extra blocker up front and credit that defensive front for making a tackle just before he crosses the chain.
Now, this is a decision right here from South Effingham. Let's get Chips out there. What do you do?
I'm going for it.
I'm going for it, too. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, we all thought they were going to go for it, but the first 2 times South Effingham had the ball, they got down inside the 10 and 1-7, nothing to lose. I'm going to have to ask Coach Clark about that this week in as much of a joking way as I can. We do their weekly coaches show podcast, and I don't know. But nevertheless, like Brock said, we weathered the storm the first time South Effingham had their first 2 possessions. Because let's be honest, I don't know if it was a matter of us just not getting off the bus correctly. But
our team we didn't get off the bus.
Okay.
It was as bad of a first half as we could have played. I mean, we couldn't do anything right. We couldn't kick the ball. We couldn't tackle. We couldn't block. We couldn't throw. We couldn't catch. Quarterback couldn't get lined up on the first play of the game. It was as bad as it could possibly be because our guys thought that it was going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
Our guys didn't believe how good they were because they saw them make a bunch of mistakes. They saw them miss a bunch of tackles and busted coverages and turn the ball over. And they didn't do that against us. They made every single tackle until late in the game. They didn't miss assignments. They covered up our receivers. They did everything right. They didn't fumble the ball. They didn't turn the ball over. They got number 1 is probably the best offensive player aside from maybe the quarterback at Statesboro. Most explosive offensive player in our region by far. I mean, those 2 guys, it ain't even close.
If he was playing at Brunswick, he'd be starting over Jacoby Hill.
He'd start over both of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than both of them. And you know, like it's one of those things where they were hitting on all cylinders. And we had to knuckle up. I wasn't a very happy camper at halftime. And we had to knuckle up and go get it. And in the end, we found a way to win. Tackled a little bit better, blocked a little bit better, ran a little bit harder, got a little more dialed in about what our jobs were and roles and responsibilities, kicked the ball a lot better, and we won. And that's what it takes. You know, do you get better throughout the game or do you get worse? And the challenge is, can you continue across the course of a game? You're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but can you get better across the course of a game? Our team did that. We got the victory.
8:47 to go in the second quarter. Our offensive or our overall player of the game, Zion Gilliard. Stangs up 6-0 early on in the second quarter. Goldrick in the gun. He's got Ryan Steele as a halfback. Gilliard on his right hip, and Bliss split on that near side with Rayvon Grant on the far side, just outside that hash. He gives it to Gilliard. Zimbo pulls Sherrod, and Zimbo open up the hole. Zion trucks a man at the 7 and dances into the end zone. Oh, baby, get your paint cans ready. Color me 6. How, Zion? And of course, I mean, Zion did. And I was looking back at the replay, and when I heard it, because a lot of times you don't remember what you say on air. The thing kind of goes by on blurs. He just trucked the man at the 7. Pretty much just like I said, he trucked him.
Yeah, it was a truck. That fella made it on the highlight reel.
Yeah, and I hate to make comparisons. It's not a true comparison, but if you take the black and gold jersey off and put a white jersey with a 34 on the back and
the Tennessee Volunteers,
an orange creamsicle jersey, Bill Bates.
It was eerily similar to that. He ain't at Herschel Walker status yet, but.
No, but the play
there aren't very many folks that are.
Yeah, no, that's what Charlie actually compared him. He goes, I don't want to compare him to Herschel Walker, but it looked like Zion, you were bigger than the defensive line from South Effingham.
Hey,
you were the biggest man on the field again, and you were the running back, and it showed.
And that is true. And Coach Lezotte, what do they need?
No,
they need some dollars so they can go play that game.
No, man, we got enough of those balls in the house. Golly. We're gonna get them some quarters here in a second. But, I think Tate was telling me there was a snake in the tree or something.
What?
Tate, what's in the tree?
Tate?
A bug.
Oh, a bug. Okay, I was gonna say if there's a snake over there.
Oh, no,
I'm not taking
time
to
he
see
says
if
a
it's
bunch of
poisonous.
crazy stuff.
I'm getting the heck out of here.
half of what he says.
You'd have to take the rest of the show if I was just snake over there. But then later on in the fourth quarter, like I said, the game went on. You guys kind of corrected things there late in the first quarter, early in the second quarter. Made some adjustments. Then early in the fourth quarter, we find ourselves up 20-13, and then this happened. It's been a dogfight all night long, but we've got it 1st and 10, up by 7, 20-13. Early in the fourth quarter, Nick Bliss and Ravon split on that far side. Hayden McCullough on the near side. Ty Goldrick in there, in the gun. Gives to Gilliard right side. Clean up Burgundy mess at midfield. Zion trucks the man. Sing me that sweet music. Zion to the 30, 20. Come on. Go Zion. Go Zion. 10, 5 inside the right pylon. Hey, get your paint cans ready. Color me 6. Oh, baby. And that was a 51-yard run. And that time, Brock, Zion kind of put on the Jets there.
Yeah, there was some controversy in that play there, wasn't it?
Yeah, just inside.
Zion, you gonna be honest with us and tell us?
Have you seen
did you cough that ball up? We gonna get the truth now.
All right.
Hold that mic up. There you go.
All right. So as soon as the play was over and they rolled it a touchdown, I had to go look for myself. All right. The ball was in my hand when I crossed the pipeline.
So you didn't fumble it?
No.
Okay, that's what we thought.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I've seen the video too. It was as much as the South Effingham folks and our awesome broadcast affiliate South Effingham guys, Troy Alford and Kenny Williams to our left, as much as they saw it in Burgundy. And I was honest on air with Bert. I was honest as I could be. I said I saw the ball get loose, but I have no idea, folks. We're gonna let the referees sort it out. I have no idea. But then I saw the video, and you were a good 2 or 3 feet inside the end zone. So it was a great run. But just Coach Lezotte. Thanks for hopping on real quick. Hey man,
he wanted to settle that controversy.
He wanted to settle that right there.
He wanted to settle that right then and there.
That's exactly what we did. And we'll hear from Zion, and I'll explain to him what in the world "Sing Me That Sweet Music" Zion Gilliard means. He's probably thinking, "What the heck is he talking about?" But it was a little Lauryn Hill reference I like to use. But 21 carries, 210 yards, a couple touchdowns. But on that defensive side of the ball, like you said, Coach Lezotte, Cam Edwards is probably the best offensive player that you guys faced this season. That kid is a beast.
Yeah, he can go. He's got a bright future. Couple coaches stopped by this past week, and I was talking about him to them, and I know Coach Clark has been reaching out about him and the player that he's become, and I tell you he's a heck of a ball player.
Well, we're gonna take that concludes our wrap up of the South Effingham game. Oh, you know what? I do want to ask you this one question though.
I want to ask Coach Lezotte something too.
Yeah,
before we
go ahead.
What's practice like this week? Not knowing who your opponent's going to be. Are y'all put scenarios together? Y'all just working on fundamentals, get back to basics? What's practice going to be like? This week?
So we a lot of stuff, a lot of get back to basics, working on scenarios, but and we're going to get better at being us. Sometimes you can lose track of that, playing a bunch of different opponents, and we get refocused and be ready to go next week.
All right, well, we'll take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our 3-time defending, history-making.
Go Wildcats!
Go Wildcats! Oh, well, what's the other thing? Who coined the phrase of "don't drop the ball"?
No, don't fumble the ball.
Or don't fumble the ball. Y'all, but come on now. I've been hearing about it.
Who wants to play for Coach Dragon? Raise your hand.
Go Wildcats!
There you go, Wildcats.
I want to play for Coach Dragon. Y'all raise y'all's hands. Y'all going to be on that.
Tony Dragon. Sir, we're gonna have him on at least one more time before we wrap up the season of the coaches show, because we're gonna go on a playoff run, so we're gonna be here for a while. Really, last chance. Here you go. Last chance. Okay, all right. We'll take a commercial break. We come back. We'll talk to a few of the middle school championship football team members. We'll be right back. You're listening to Wildcat Nation and the Matt Lezotte Show, sponsored by these guys.
The Cats win big, and so should you. For 13 years at Exclusive Engravings on Ford Avenue, Chris and LaShonda Hartley have a wide range of gifts, trophies, executive awards, home accessories, custom apparel, and more. A veteran-owned business, Chris and LaShonda have served our country, and now they're ready to serve you. Trust local, shop local. Stop by to see Chris and LaShonda today. And oh yeah, Chris is a proud Batesburg-Leesville High School grad in South Carolina, just like Charlie Moon and longtime Richmond Hill teacher Sarah Goldrick.
And we're back on LowCountryRadio.com. I'm Charlie Moon alongside again my brother from another mother, Brock Monet. Of course, we're different sizes. I'm kind of a big guy, but it's all good. Speaking of big guys, I got a few big-time middle school football players with me right now. The future of the Richmond Hill varsity program. Khalil Scott, offensive lineman. His brother Kirk's on the varsity squad. And Blake Witter goes both ways, offensive defensive line. And Amir, got it right? Amir, I got it right? All right. Amir, you can pop that headset on, my man. Amir Miller, leading rusher from the season on the middle school team. Hey, Amir, you had a great ball game last week. Talk about how you felt or going into the game. You had some anticipation. At what point in the ball game did things kind of settle down and it never really becomes just another game? I don't care what anybody says. It's more than just another game. But at what point in the ball game did your nerves kind of settle down?
The fourth quarter.
Okay.
Whenever it was settled, yeah.
Okay. So, was there any point in the ball game though that, so in other words, you played nervous the entire game until that scoreboard was pretty much done.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, I was just,
okay.
I was pumped and I wanted to go out there and win a region championship.
So, basically what you're telling your varsity guys that are sitting over to your left when you're involved in the program next year, next few years, however long, you're gonna play like your hair's on fire and you're nervous all the time. If your hand's shaking like this, that means you're good to go, right?
No, I wasn't that nervous. I was just.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. No, I hear you. And then Blake, you go both ways in the offensive line, defensive line. The varsity level, that's kind of a rare thing. Not too many guys, especially at the 6A level, and then some of the better 6A programs like Richmond Hill is. You don't see too many guys going both ways because number one, you're playing 12-minute quarters. You're playing against some big time, big, long, lean, physical athletes. But at the middle school level, when you're playing just 8 quarters, you can go both ways and make it. Is there any time in the game where you kind of have to say, I got to pace myself a little bit, or do you just go like your red hair's on fire like my hair used to be 25 years ago? Got a kid in my class every single day says, Mr. Moon, what happened to you? Took your hair. And every day I have to tell her, I don't know, but it was gone a long time ago. But anyway, answer the question. Is there any time in the game where you kind of feel like I need to pace myself, or you're just hair on fire all game long?
Yeah, there's always that time, especially middle of our possession of the ball, where we're always we may be stuck at a certain spot on the field, and I'm just trying to basically I always have this, like, for instance, the past game, I had 2 big dudes right in front of me, basically trying to make sure I'm blocking them well without having to, like, do it too much to where I'm doing it wrong, because I'll always find that problem.
Was 78 one of the guys that you were I know they were kind of moving him around a little bit. Were you matched up with him a good bit?
Yeah, I was, especially with the way I block.
That kid could give Andy Fair, defensive lineman of Richmond Hill, a run for his money as far as size. I mean, 78. Good gracious. How much you think he weighed?
I'd say probably about 260.
Yeah, at least.
A little more.
Oh, man. Randall Boone, Georgia Southern legend, and, of course, everybody knows around these parts who he is. Coached the middle school team for over 20 years. He's not retired in the industry. He's still teaching. But he's not coaching football anymore. He told me on air, because I had the fortune of working with him tonight, and he said he doesn't think he's ever seen a middle school defensive lineman as big as that kid that could move a little bit. So that had to be a big time challenge. Now, did he play? Did that kid play the first time you guys met? Or do you remember?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that was one of our first games when he played him. So I can't really remember as well if he was on there. I got
you. And then Khalil, I mean, you're another guy on that offensive line. Had a good game. It's got to be good for blocking for that trio of running backs, because Larson Little, he had a great night last week. Of course, Amir, leading rusher, he had a great night. And then Jaden Taylor. Correct me if I'm wrong, 3 styles of running backs. Now, I've only seen you guys play 2 games, but each, Amir, Larson, and Jaden are 3 kind of distinct differences. You got Larson that's got some power and speed. Amir, that's real versatile. He can go outside and inside, doesn't matter where, and he's tough when he gets beyond line of scrimmage. And then you got Jaden Taylor, which he's pure jets. Is that kind of, pretty close?
Yes, sir. That's pretty close. Because Amir is like a headhunter. Larson is like almost trying to be like speed, and Jaden's just a quick starter. Like, that boy can move. Jaden's like a speed demon to me.
one of the things Coach Lyons said about you was, Khalil, you're one of the better leaders he's seen in a while. Coming up, talk about your leadership style.
Yes, sir. Like when the team is down, we gotta put them up. We can't just let them be down. We can't just let their day just go bad and on forward. Like they're having a bad practice, we gotta speed them up and tell them, "Come on, we got this. Come on, we got your back. You got my back and everything." We just have to praise the team up.
Now, Mira, you guys BMOCs for a little while at school. Big men on campus.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm lying.
So are you? Are any of you three guys, or all three of you guys playing different sports now, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm doing basketball.
Me and Blake are doing wrestling.
Okay, so okay, all right. So
I also play lacrosse as well.
Are you lacrosse now? Along with the rest?
In the spring, but
okay, all right.
That's just the other sport I do.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys wrap it up here. Just tell me what it felt like when the ball game was over. I mean, you go through all season in training, you go through conditioning, then you go through weightlifting, and you go through the preseason workouts, and then it's like 986 degrees, and you're waiting to hit somebody for real till you see a referee out there with a whistle. Oh, it's for real now. That's friggin' last week or first week in August. The season goes on. Next thing you know, boom, you are at the end of October. Here's a championship game. You work all that time up for 32 minutes worth of football, and then it's over. You're on top. Talk about that relief and what you felt like.
I felt like I was ready for the game. I was like literally waiting for the championship. Like everyone, we had to prep the team up and everything to tell them we ready for war and all. The team has to know that, and we all know that.
Blake?
Part of me being a first-year player, just it felt good to help continue on that legacy, being the back-to-back champions. Just felt good to put all those days of practice that we've been doing, put those steps in, put those motions in, into actual practice.
Amir?
I'm just happy that we won and that we went out with a bang. I don't know.
Hey, and then I want you guys to hang around. Thanks for joining us. I want you guys to hang around because we're going to talk to our notorious BOGs from the varsity team. And then we'll wrap things up with one or two cheerleaders. They think they're not going to get on air, but I'm going to grab one or two of them. And then at the end, we're going to do some kind of fun with Coach Lyons and you guys. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have our varsity team, Low Country Radio Players of the Game from last week. You're listening to Wildcat Nation and the Matt Lezotte Show on Low Country Radio, sponsored by those guys up there, Papa's Pizza. Hey, it's Tuesday night. I don't care. You still got time. It's 6:49. Order it to deliver. You can do. I don't know if he does the Uber Eats or whatever, but just give him a call. Get you some pizza if you're at the house. You don't want those peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Give him a call. Get ready to shop. You're listening to The Coach's Show, sponsored by also Exclusive Engravings.
The Cats win big, and so should you. For 13 years at Exclusive Engravings on Ford Avenue, Chris and LaShonda Hartley have a wide range of gifts, trophies, executive awards, home accessories, custom apparel, and more. A veteran-owned business, Chris and LaShonda have served our country, and now they're ready to serve you. Trust local, shop local. Stop by to see Chris and LaShonda today. And oh yeah, Chris is a proud Batesburg-Leesville High School grad in South Carolina, just like Charlie Moon and longtime Richmond Hill teacher Sarah Goldrick.
Third down and 4 here at the 31-yard line. We're hanging on to a 16-14 lead. Rodemaker, he gives to Robinson, and he's scooped in the backfield.
Defenders over the ball to snap. He hands it off to Jalen. Jalen scoops for a first down. We got a first down and some.
Brother, man, it's been a pleasure listening to you all night long. Y'all got a bunch of Louisiana people tripping out around here. Valdosta goes down to the mighty Richmond Hill Wildcats.
Show them Raging Cajuns how it's done in Louisiana.
Had it everywhere. We won the Valdosta.
He's so smart. He's having trouble putting together sentences. That means you're emotional, Nathan Vickers. Enjoy it.
I've never been anything a part of this before. It's the biggest moment of my life.
back on LoCountryRadio.com. Again, I'm Charlie Moon alongside Brian Vaigneur. You're listening to Wildcat Nation and the Matt Lezotte Show on Low Country Radio, sponsored by Papa's Pizza and Chris and LaShonda Hartley at Exclusive Cravings, literally just across the parking lot on Ford Avenue. Got Zion Gilliard with us, 21 carries, 210 yards, a couple scores. You heard those cuts earlier. Alex Workman, our lineman of the ball game, Low Country Radio lineman of the ball game from last week. Blake Williams, our special teamer of the game, and our defensive player of the game. I'm having a brain block here. Our defensive player of the game, I'm going to have to look up. I'll pull it up and I'll get that in just a second. But Zion. I know you kind of felt like this past Friday night was kind of somewhat of a coming out party for you. You got to pick it up.
Kind of. You know, it was the best game of my life. You know, it definitely felt good, but just gotta get ready to go with the next one. You know.
I hear you. And then, talk about, there were several times, like we heard the 2 touchdown runs, and you had several other runs that were, get to the line of scrimmage or just beyond the line of scrimmage, truck somebody, and then take off. So combination of power and speed right there is kind of your style.
Yes, sir. I try to work hard in both aspects of my game, just not be one-sided. So, yeah, just gotta keep on working, and I'll get better and better.
I know one of the things that we kind of raved early in the season, in the preseason game, you had several carries in the spring. You had a good spring game. We're like, who is that kid? And you came from Log County. Log County transferred. You and your family moved over to the area, and didn't play a down of football. So it had to be tricky for you coming into this season, just getting those legs and that getting into football shape, not playing. So before this season started, when was the last time you actually played a live down of football?
Probably last game of the regular season, freshman year.
Okay. All right. So that had to be great. That had to be great. Finally getting back on the field this year, because Long County, when you were there last year, they didn't play it down like a lot of schools. It had to be great for you getting back out there this year.
Yeah. I was definitely kind of nervous. I thought that I was going to be out there gassed, but I did a little bit of training, to prep my body and stuff, get stronger and faster. So,
So you come in the third series of the game, right? How do you and Deco work that out? Was that pregame scripted? The coach tells you, all right, Zion, this is your series. Y'all got it worked out before the game. How do you know when to go in? The coach sends you in? Running back coach sends you in?
Yes, sir. It's like a rotation. So, they'll start him, and then if something happens, or if he gets a long run or something, we'll switch. And
you'll go in without even anybody telling you.
No.
Okay, the coach does tell you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So how much credit? I haven't heard you give credit to the offensive line yet.
Oh yeah, the offensive line. They're definitely if you watch the film, you'll see it's just big, gigantic.
Yeah, me and Charlie was talking that we could have ran through some of them holes. You think we could have ran through some of them holes? We might not have took it to the house like you did, but.
I could have rolled through a couple of them.
But we could have at least got to the second level.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, our offensive line, those guys, they're growing every day, working hard, and I love them. They're definitely.
I want to ask Wortman.
Yeah.
Wortman, you are long over. Have you ever won this award before?
Yeah. By game 1, 2, or 3, somewhere in that.
You
right?
Okay, because I'm about to say you long overdue.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't, I've never seen, and we talked about this. You've been a starter since you were a starter in that Valdosta game.
I was a starter in the Alatoona game.
Alatoona. And one thing I always notice about you is you always finish your blocks. Coach tells you block to the whistle blows. Well, you block to the echo of the whistle. You don't block to the whistle. You block to the echo. And normally I'll see your defensive lineman on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
And then they start getting a little mad at you. And they got a little chippy Friday night.
Yeah.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
Tell us what went on there.
So what happened there was 4 plays before the incident happened, I told the kid he needed to hit the weight room more.
Offensive lineman talking smack.
That's not something you want to say unless you want a challenge, and I guess you did all right.
I want a challenge, and like 2 plays later, I ended up blocking the kid when I pulled around. I pancaked him, and then whenever I went to get up, he grabbed me by my face mask and just like kind of like knocked me upside the head. But I wasn't gonna do anything because I knew automatically that's 15 yards for us. So I just walked away from the situation and just let it play out.
And then didn't y'all score on that drive?
We ended up scoring the next play after
that.
That's
what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that was the 30 yards worth of penalties on that.
Yeah, and then I think Grant finished it off with that post route.
Yeah, that was the touchdown pass from Goldrick. But yeah, I mean, that there you go. Some of the things you hear on Low Country Radio that you wouldn't ever know unless you just like called Alex up. Hey man, what happened on that play? You get on Low Country Radio, but that was really good insight right there. How many times you see a college game or an NFL game where some idiot does something that they know that they're going to get 15 yards and they just do it anyway. And a lot of times it doesn't even have anything to do with them just losing their cool in the moment. They just in the NFL, they've got that celebration rule that if you do a few specific things after a score, you're going to guarantee that you get 15 yards against you, and they do it anyway. So that says a lot for you to say that, and then you're thinking about that in that heated moment because it's so heated right there. And Andre Matthews, you had a great game yourself. I was pulling up the numbers here. Let's see before I.
Well, why you do that?
Go ahead.
Since you got the first start against Effingham, how has it gotten for you? Got easier? Has it gotten harder? I mean, you had to go up against a big, strong Brunswick football team. Since the Statesboro, you've going up against a couple other big, strong football teams. Has it gotten easier? Or gotten harder for you?
It's gotten a lot harder since the Effingham game.
Really? It don't come that easy, does it? You look like you had it easy in that Effingham game, getting out that quarterback. Then you come across a couple of 250-pound tackles who live in the weight room.
It was a large difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a comparison. We've talked a little baseball tonight. The Braves coming up, going to win game series tonight. Max Fried has had 2 bad starts in a row, but he's not going to have a 3rd bad start in a row. He's going to get it done. You can't tell I'm a long-time diehard Braves fan. But the comparison to baseball is a lot of times you see another guy like the Braves. Austin O'Reilly came on the Major League Baseball scene last year about a third of the way into the season, maybe halfway into the season for the Atlanta Braves, and he was on fire for like 2 months. He couldn't miss it. It was like a beach ball. And all of a sudden, bam! Because they had game film on him and they knew how to pitch him. And the rest of the season, he was nothing. And then in the off season, he worked more, and now he's ripping it up again. Now he's learned how to, hit against pitchers that have a book on him. So same thing with you. You come in out of nowhere, halfway through your freshman season, a couple games, they got some game film, it makes it harder. So now your challenge is knowing what they might come at you with.
Have you had to take on a trap block yet from that defensive end position?
Today actually.
I hope you had to take it. I hope it wasn't Zimbo pulling out on that play.
It was.
Go ahead.
It was Ryan Steele and
How did you play it? Did you get low and take your legs out?
No, I got cracked.
You got cracked.
Oh, okay. All right. Would nobody yell crack, crack, crack? You got to have help from your teammates,
And we got Blake Williams, special teamer, Low Country Radio special teamers of the game. And like I said earlier, we always leave the linemen and the special teamers of the game up to Coach Lezotte and his staff. So this week, congratulations to Blake Williams. Blake, talk about your role on the special teams.
Man, I'm just trying to kick the ball. That's really it.
Hey,
what is your number in your position on special teams?
Well, I'm number 25, but.
Oh, okay.
I won the field goal job like 2 games ago, but our kicker wasn't doing so good, I guess. So they gave me.
He was struggling. We don't say he was just struggling. Yeah.
I did they gave me the kickoff job in the second half, and I guess I just kicked it hard. Won the touchback.
So, you and your brother Britton, I know y'all probably grew up. Now, where did y'all, I can remember when I was a kid at Batesburg, Leesville. I don't know how many times I kicked the ball. Not that I thought I was going to be some kicker or nothing, but we'd play ball out in the front yard, and I would kick a football, and it would go through Lieutenant Colonel Phipps' side window. I did it like 3 or 4 times. So, we had fun kicking the ball in the yard. I know when you and your brother had to have some fun kicking the ball too. Where did y'all go, or did y'all even do that? Did y'all find an open field somewhere? When was the first time y'all started kicking?
Well, we have an open field in our neighborhood park. I guess they got some college uprights in there. So we just went there every day and just practiced.
Y'all wouldn't throw the football. Y'all would just kick, or would y'all do other stuff too?
Just kick.
Just kick.
And that's awesome. The question was, hey, talk about your role in special team. Man, I'm just trying to kick the ball. I love it. Thanks for joining us, Blake.
You got a soccer background?
Yes,
because my nephew wants to be the kicker. And everybody says if you want to be the kicker, you got to play soccer as a kid. Is that true?
That's not true. But I just grew up playing soccer, so it kind of just came natural to me.
Thanks for joining us. Blake. Hey, man, keep on kicking, my man.
Yeah, congratulations on winning the job.
Hey, a couple other guys. We're not going to embarrass them and get them on the air, but Isaac Nowitzki, I love saying that name. Hanging out, eating some pizza here, and Zamir Smith over there. I like the hat, man. Detroit Tigers, man, chill. No, he's got some drip, as y'all say.
Yeah,
man.
he can make the Jordan Clark all drip team.
There you go. It's not the Jordan Clark all drip team. It's the Broughton.
Oh, okay, all right.
All drip team. But also, hey, we got the cheerleaders with us real quick. You guys kind of grab the mic real quick. I just want y'all to share this real quick. I just want to update. I'm not going to ask you to do anything embarrassing. Who we got with us really quick?
Jayla,
Samario,
Peyton.
All right, and Peyton, y'all tell us really quick, have you had a competition since the one a couple weeks ago where y'all had like the highest score in the history of Georgia and Florida? Okay. No, so when's the next competition?
This week.
Okay, this week. All right, this week. And that's like the last quote unquote regular season event, right?
And then next week's regions.
Yeah, so then you region, then you qualify for state, and that's pretty much it, right? So it's 2 events in the quote unquote playoffs, right? Okay, all right.
All right, wait a minute. We got to take a poll now from everybody. Are the Braves going to close out tonight, or is it going to go to game 7?
Yeah.
All right, is they going to close? They going to close out tonight, or is they going to go to game 7?
I don't know. What happened last time? It's not. I don't know.
You got to make a prediction.
Hey, well,
I think they're going to lose.
Okay, what's yours?
I think they're going to go.
They're going to go to game 7.
Yes.
I think they're going to win.
They're going to win, so it ends tonight. How about these guys over here? What is y'all's prediction? Games tonight or game 7?
Zion's like, man, I have no clue.
Zion just said, give me the football one more time.
They're going to win tonight.
They're going to win it tonight?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's go.
They'll wrap it up.
They'll wrap it up? Okay.
Yes, sir. Hey, quick nugget though, last, in the NLCS against the Dodgers, a similar situation tonight. It was, then, coming into game 6, the opponent last week or a week and a half ago, it was Walker Buehler that was pitching game 6 for the Dodgers. He came in on only 3 days rest. Well, tonight, guess what the starting pitcher for the Astros, I can't remember his first name, but Garcia, guess how many days rest? He's had 3 because we toasted their bullpen and, got Houston Astros, brain block, Baker. Dusty Baker.
Oh, Dusty. I remember watching him play for the Dodgers back in the 80s.
But he irresponsibly burned his bullpen in a couple games early on in this World Series that he didn't need to do. And Schnitker, Schnit, handled the bullpen well, didn't burn his arm, so they're going to be fresh tonight. And unless Max Fried has dead arm syndrome, I don't think they'd pitch him tonight if he did. But unless he has dead arm syndrome, it's late in the season, I don't think he's going to have 3 bad starts in a row. But anyway, thanks for joining us, cheerleaders, tonight. We appreciate it. And we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap things up with Coach Lezotte. And then I got something real fun I want to do with the middle school guys that are here left. And the 3 high school cheerleaders are going, woo, side of the break. Y'all got to go. Woo! Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah.
The Cats win big, and so should you. For 13 years at Exclusive Engravings on Ford Avenue, Chris and LaShonda Hartley have a wide range of gifts, trophies, executive awards, home accessories, custom apparel, and more. A veteran-owned business, Chris and LaShonda have served our country, and now they're ready to serve you. Trust local, shop local. Stop by to see Chris and LaShonda today. And oh yeah, Chris is a proud Batesburg-Leesville High School grad in South Carolina, just like Charlie Moon and longtime Richmond Hill teacher Sarah Goldrick.
And we're back. Last break, Coach Lezotte. Hey,
oh yeah.
You got what?
I got my whole crew eating all your candy up here.
Yeah. Hey, tell us real quick. Hey,
say your names real quick.
Yeah, tell the people.
Alice, Lucy, Kate.
Alice, Lucy, and Tate.
Alice, Lucy, and Tate.
Awesome. Don't fumble the football, build the hill. That's what we get from those young bucks every week. But Coach Lezotte, tell your guys not to go anywhere real quick. Hang on. Oh man, they're gonna leave. They think I'm gonna embarrass them.
No,
I'm not gonna embarrass them. Hang on for just 1 second. Hang on for just 1 second. Coach Lezotte, your last thoughts on practice going into next week?
No, it's a unique opportunity. Bye week in the last week of the season. Not a whole lot of folks. There's some folks that are in the same situation as us that are packing up their stuff. They're not in the playoffs, and they're going home. And we're competing at a really high level. 6A ball is as tough as anywhere in the country in the state of Georgia, and we're excited to have an opportunity to go into the dance and see what we can do. And I think this group of guys is ready. We have not even sniffed playing our best game. We really haven't played a good game yet, and just looking for an opportunity to go out there and do it. And next week, we'll either do it or we won't.
So we wrapped up the regular season. Has this team exceeded your expectations? Would it be in such a young group? Is it what you expected?
No. I think when I asked them in the springtime, how many games you want to win? They said all of them, and so I think that the expectation is to win them all. Now, the expectation is not, hey, we're a bad team because we didn't win them all.
No, second place is good.
But we have gotten better throughout the season. Our team has improved. Our players have improved. Does that always mean that you improve and you play well on a Friday night? No, because there are a lot of things that got to go right for that to happen. But we're continuing to improve. We're going to get better. We're going to get better over this next week and a half and be ready to roll on the 13th.
Yeah, the Braves going to wrap it up tonight. Are they going to wrap it up tomorrow, or are they going to do the unthinkable?
Tonight, man.
Okay, tonight. Okay.
Tonight. I don't even have to think about that. Let's go, Braves.
All right, hey, there you have it, Bob. Braves in 6. Braves in 6 going to take care of it in 1 hour and 1 minute right now. It gives me just enough time to get back to Statesboro. And as we go off air, I got a little background music. There's something that the Richmond Hill football program, middle school and high school level, does. We're going to let them have fun with that as we go off the air. We will not talk to you Friday night. We will not be on the air. There's a possibility that Brock and I could be broadcasting the Glenn and Statesboro game or the Brunswick-Effingham game. So just watch out social media for that. But we will talk to you again same time next week, 6 o'clock for the Coaches Show. As always, when we go off there, tell somebody you love them. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. What if I ain't got nobody to tell I love them? What if I'm single?
Well, I mean, you love your mom.
Oh, well, I got to call her.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Tell somebody you love them. How about that? There they go. All right, guys, take it away. So you got a little dog in it now. Y'all got to Google that video from the Coastal Carolina coach from like 15 years ago. It's like, I need some dogs. I don't need no cats. Remember that guy?
Yeah,
Bennett. It's like, I don't need no cats. I need some dogs. So there you go. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Chop on.
And I got the pedal to the metal. Got you out here checking game. I'm balling out on every level. Hear them haters talk, but there's nothing you could tell them. Just made $1 million, got another $1 million on my schedule. No love for them, boy, I'm breaking hearts. No keys, push to start. Yeah.